consistently. There's Bang as well, who could not be outdone by Will by any means whatsoever. I mean, 100 Thieves just look like on another level, but they look so prepped and ready to go, which is the scary part that Guard needs to be worried about.
Yeah, and I think for FaZe, they fell into a lot of the pitfalls that they did in their game versus Guard. These two series for both
मैसेज कर रहा है रात को 1 बजे
मैंने किधर मैसेज किया है
similarities, right?
Android users be like
it was coming in with changed compositions and really cool game plans. I think the preparation element for both these squads left alive in the tournament is insane.
Android users feel like iPhone बड़े घर वाले ही बड़े घर वाली है हमारे औकात से बाहर और बता अमित इतना ठंडा हो गया
You know, Sean Garris and Mike's, and they've done a beautiful job. And we can see that directly as we see both these teams improve throughout the tournament.
Amit.
I think that's a big point too. We've seen the Guard.
गया क्या भाभी के पास?
And they would, you know, they would tell us that as well. They felt
Stream
like
चालू हो गया इस पे
really a
देखिए
loss in a sense, but they weren't happy with the
finals.
ओह स्ट्रीम देख रहा है भाभी मेरे पास नहीं जा रहा है
We finally showed what we feel like we've been working to this whole boot camp process.
Yeah, and you know what they have been working to is this moment right here, the grand finals, Guard, 100 Thieves. But if you look at the journeys, Mimi, that these two teams took, they pretty much played similar teams the entire. They played the same teams. If you go on VLR, you literally see that they played the same squads up until this point, which is just so fascinating. And now we're going to get this almost rubber band match here because these squads have faced each other in previous occasions. Maybe not the same rosters, but still, nonetheless, it's interesting to see this like rubber band match, if you will.
Yeah, it is a really interesting one, and I think looking at this one, it does seem like Guard took a much more direct path coming through that upper bracket.
Yeah.
Sure, they beat those teams, but they didn't have that moment where they faltered. 100 Thieves really fell apart in that upper bracket game versus FaZe Clan, but they went down below and they lit that fire under themselves. They came alight and were looking fantastic through the rest of their run to find themselves now here in this best out of 5 grand finals. And what's interesting about the BO5 is it's a big advantage for Guard, right? They come in with the double bans, which I think as of late has seemed a little bit of a curse, right? We think back both stage 1 and stage 2 here in North America, lower bracket team wins. Reykjavik, lower bracket team wins. Copenhagen, lower bracket team wins.
Do you believe in curses, Mel? Do you believe in superstition?
I believe in curses, but I also believe that you can lift them. And I think 100 Thieves has shown they lift the 9-3 curse, right, against FaZe.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Valen is also, you know, a superstitious individual, as we saw on Twitter just a little while ago, because he actually had against the Guard here today, because that's how good Derek's been playing, Mimi.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think you got it. You got to keep the Derek wallpaper in place.
Yes.
For sure. I mean, I just think that's iconic. Honestly, I see them and Sweden play together a lot, too.
Yeah. So I think that maybe you keep it. Also, perhaps if you're, you know, a Stellar's dad, huge shout out to all the parents who, you know, support the kids playing Valorant and playing esports and whatnot. But Stellar's dad wearing the same pants every day. Now, I did want to show you guys the tweet, but Stellar's dad did use some colorful language, so shame on you. Okay, shame on you. I'm kidding, of course. But, you know, let us know. What do you think? Do you believe in some good luck charms, some superstition, if you will? Make sure you sign off on social media, do all the business there. But in any case, though, I wanted to do something fun for this pre-show.
I like fun.
Yeah, I wanted to do something entertaining. Yes. So what I figured what we do here, Mimi, we do a little debate, okay? Rather than talk about, because look, everyone watches this broadcast for the soft-hitting analysis that we provide.
I'm watching for the hard-hitting analysis.
No, it's soft. It's like a really hard-boiled egg, you know, and that not like hard-boiled in the way that you may imagine. It's actually more of just like a fleshy meat pod, if you will, kind of like myself. So what I figured we do is do a little debate segment here. You'll take 100 Thieves. And Mel will take Guard, okay? And don't give me any stats. Don't give me any numbers. I don't want to hear any analysis.
I love numbers.
No, numbers are for the birds, all right? What we're going to do here is you're going to give us...
What birds are counting?
I don't know. Maybe it's the goose that's on your neck.
Can geese count?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Okay, what we're going to do is you're going to take 100 Thieves, and you're going to give me the reason why they're going to win today. I'm going to put 20 seconds on the clock. I think we have a timer somewhere here. We may have been able to make one happen. So Mimi, you're gonna go first. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, all right.
Start the clock.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
100 Thieves, to start off, they just have better hoodies. They're softer. They sell more. They're better across the board. And on top of that, we got to talk about the cloud factor. They have more clouded coaches. Who's this MCE guy? Sure, he was good back in CSGO, and he was solid here as well. He got his team to Reykjavik, but look at the follower numbers. It's just not quite there. You can't compare to 3 coaches with that much element in there. Wait, what? What?
That's I'm sorry.
Time?
I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Now,
at least one more take. I mean, like, Austin he has an anime profile picture. Will was wearing short shorts yesterday.
It's okay.
Like, that's gotta be.
You want to know what? It's fine. And look, Mel's going to do this debate with her mic falling apart from her hands. All right, Mel, you got this. Okay, are you ready? Oh, wait. Okay, she's muted because her mic was like a little messed up, but it's fine. Okay, we'll get this sorted out. Don't worry about it.
Argument. This is awesome.
You can't win an argument if Mel doesn't get an opportunity to debate. Okay, just turn Mel's mic on. We'll make it happen. It's okay. Screw it. We'll do it live. All right, Mel, you good? Yes? Yes, you can talk.
All right, I'm getting a call here from headquarters, straight from the guard revenue shares. Here I have that we have the best graphics in the biz. Undeniable. I have here Jesus sent his cousin himself in the form of Trent to save North America.
Wow.
And I have more here.
Okay.
Here I have net turned down every single Ivy League school in the year, or in the entire
galaxy.
In the entire galaxy, actually, in order to play for guard as well. And Giga Chat.
Time.
Okay, time. Oh, man. And she did that while her headset was falling apart.
Buggy the Emperor.
Coaches, 20 seconds is really
You were
short.
just, you know, and listen,
yeah.
some say that not all segments hit, but I think
so
that
much
one
more
was an
written.
absolute banger.
Hai,
In any case, though, guys, make sure you get out there on social media. We probably should have given you guys a minute. I think maybe 20 seconds was a little too little. You know?
I can do it again.
No,
I'll do more.
I don't know if we can.
Valen has Derek on the desktop. That's fan behavior.
That is.
We can't let that happen.
Let us know who you think won the debate, but also let us know who you think is going to win today. Make sure you use the poll that's out on the Valorant NA social channels right now. Okay, vote for the guard, vote for 100 Thieves. You can also either vote if you think Mel won the debate with her headset falling apart, or if Mimi won the debate as she was going a million miles per minute explaining why 100 Thieves were going to win with all the copium and the hopium in the world on both sides of the debate fence. But anyway, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. When we come back, we're going to be discussing the match in detail with some more hard-hitting analysis. Don't go anywhere.
(13-7) is the scoreline from map number 2, and this is a very different guard that we're looking at.
Master.
Qualifying for champs would mean a lot to me because it would mean for my first international event, and I think it also means a lot to the org to be able to qualify for champs.
You know, nothing beats international competition. You know, playing from home, playing at boot camps and stuff is fun, but actually, you know, going to, you know, different countries to play the game is just like an indescribable feeling. And especially for champions, we're going to be playing in front of a crowd. That'd be my first time playing in front of like a real crowd in an esport. When we went to Iceland, like even though, you know, we lost, we didn't have the best showing, like taking that experience was just so much fun. You really grinded to be there and you're like getting the rewards, if that makes sense. And it just feels really good.
Two young, ambitious teams looking to play in front of a crowd for the first time ever. For the Guard, it's about righting a wrong in the past. They didn't feel like they performed, obviously, to their potential last. On the flip side to that, for a lot of the players in 100 Thieves, it's a big opportunity for them to be able to represent the region they compete in for the first time ever and do the unthinkable. I'm Golden Boy along with Mimi and Mel. Everything's all sorted out. We're all feeling good and comfy here, and we're going to break down this matchup between the Guard and 100 Thieves. And first up, let's actually start with the Guard here. Now, obviously, Mel, you were going for the Guard aggressively. There were a lot of great points made, but I'm going to pivot over to Mimi here to break it down. Kind of balance it out a little bit, you know. So let's actually talk about this Guard team, Mimi, who, you know, they have had some hard times, but it feels like they are back and they are better than ever. And those are the words we heard from Valen himself.
Yeah, it certainly feels like they are back in peak form and beyond that, as he said. But I think what's most interesting about this matchup is that it is kind of a duel of two teams that took a very similar approach to how they built their rosters and how they made things happen. These are the two teams in North America that
about this lineup. We actually talked to Valen previously, you know, about this matchup, just about their performances in general in a previous post-match interview. Let's actually go ahead and take a listen to that and hear his words regarding today.
I wouldn't say the Guard is back, and I'll tell you why. I think we're past our old form. People are saying, oh, we got to get back in stage 1 form, whatever. We're past that. We're on new heights right now. So I'm not even looking back and trying to fix all that. Like, we're on new heights, and you guys better come prepared, or else it's going to be another same result.
Mel, they are looking past the stage 1 Guard, the dark horse story that everyone was so enamored by. They're looking forward. They're looking past it because they feel, and I think we've seen it in their gameplay, that they have evolved past that point.
And speaking of evolution, 100 Thieves, just in this tournament alone, we have seen them take huge strides of improvement and really looking, like in the words of Stellar, in their boot camp form. What they've been prepped and what they've shown in scrims is finally coming out, and we're starting to see that. And we speak of like new players. You look at 100 Thieves, it's not like these guys are experienced as much as either. Like, you look at them, none of them have really made an international stage except for Asuna. So they're all super hungry, and they're all like really an investment from the org and from the team and from the coaches to really make these the best players they can be.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of a similar story for the Guard, where we heard in that kind of that interview off the rip that for Valen, right? Iceland for them was about experience. It was about getting the team comfortable on land. They've stuck by this roster. They've had the hard times, and they have come back way better. I think that's what makes great teams, when you can have that flash of brilliance and can be great, but then can take a fall from glory and be able to rally back. It's like the cringe sports thing that everyone says, but it's not about the setback. It's about the comeback, and that was what Guard did here in the LCQ. They are back. They are looking better than their form has ever been before.
I didn't know that was like considered cringe, you know?
A lot of things are cringe that you don't know about.
I guess so. No,
we're learning together.
The more you know. That's why I'm Boomer Boy, not Zoomer Boy. Even though I did win the Zoomer Boy poll, so thank you, everyone. But yes, in speaking of, and Mel, I'm actually really glad you talked about 100 Thieves, because the parallels of these two teams are very apparent. But for the Guard in particular, like their style, right? Like the way that they have grown as a team, the way that they've evolved. Every player plays a key role on this squad. That you really feel the impact of them. We saw it in all the matches that took place. The Guard have really fortified who they are as a unit.
And it's like I said before, it's about those multiple win conditions. They're a team that relies on one or two players to pop off every match and setting them up. Everyone on this team can step up to the plate and make something happen in a round.
Yeah, and the ideas they showed versus FaZe were impeccable. Look at that setup. Sees nade into not a lobby, but out towards mid instead. The operator peeks off of that. These ideas for Guard are excellent, and their mid rounds on top of that are great. They get that early advantage. They fully reset in this round, are super comfortable in playing back, dedicating themselves to this retake. They are a far more disciplined team than what we have seen in the past, and the strategies have come to a new level. They brought in a new assistant coach coming into this. You already talked about him, Mel. Cupert bringing new ideas. MC continuing with those ideas from iterations of yore, but it has just looked so good. This Guard squad has looked incredibly clean, and I think that FaZe match was the best example. The preparation really showed through.
And I feel like at this point, Guard's got to be like, man, we're tired of people doubting us, because you think back to the Sentinels game, they obviously had a bunch of people voting against them with the Sentinels fan, and then C9, people still had their reservations, and then they just keep taking scalps, and they're being like, come on, guys, like, look at us now, like, we're going to be at top, like, whether you want to see us there or not, and we're going to prove you wrong. And I think they're coming to this super hungry and and really want to keep proving everyone like, hey, yo, like we're here to come back to the international, and we're here to actually make a statement if we get there.
Yeah, and I think in previous times this team was good, but we never really thought of them as like the big like meta innovator. I think they're pushing towards being one of those teams that can now. This double controller composition on Icebox was awesome. They did such a good job at kind of keeping that smoke cycle up, playing the retakes with that Brimstone. Again, the depth that has been added into this roster just within the LCQ has been so incredibly impressive to watch.
Very true. But then, you know, on the other side of the field, you have 100 Thieves, and we saw them yesterday, and it's very unfortunate that phase where the folly for both of these squads for us to really break down how these teams have evolved, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. This 100 Thieves roster, Mel, as you were talking about before, right, the parallels between these two squads, the ways that they have grown, you know, opposites of one another, but yet now they find themselves on a collision course. Let's talk about their style now, because we've been, I don't want to say critical, but we have been very analytical about what they've been doing, right? Strong preparation, strong protocols. Late game's very good. Mid game was kind of rocky, but we saw those improvements in the phase matchup.
And I think that's just going to continue on this upward trajectory. And the same thing with Guard, like you said, it really just feels like two parallel lines finally in that perpendicular course. And honestly, I'm just all here for it. And especially if these two teams, kind of like I was talking about earlier, 100 Thieves is also a team that just does not rely on a single win condition. There's multiple, and you can clearly see, even like in Bang, like one of the youngest players, he's very cerebral, very smart, and they have a very methodical way of playing, very structured, but it's also very strong at the same time. They have the fragging to back it up.
Yeah, and I think this round was really cool in particular in the way that 100 Thieves were playing, because it shows not only their preparation, right? It's a read against how this Phoenix is going to play with the ult. You put Bang up in that kind of top corner there, and no one's actually going to clear him on out. And then you see, even later in this round here, it's the structure in the mid round, which I think was something that was lacking for a while with 100 Thieves. They sometimes struggled in those late games with that adaptation, but that is fixed, and I give a lot of that credit to Stellar here. Will completely disengages. No one overheats. They double back. They play as a team here, and it means that in the end, they have a pretty easy round to clean up against Flya. 100 Thieves has made these iterations, and I think the reason that that is so impressive isn't just that they can come back in and make those changes, it's how quickly they do it. This isn't challengers. This isn't you have a week off to prep. They have played every single day of the second week of LCQ, and they have looked better every single time.
I actually really like that point, and you know, since we have a professional player here to talk about, you know, the different structures of competitions, right? Because challengers, you got a week to prep for your match. You have plenty of time. But let's talk about this type of format, the bracket format, and how grueling that is for the preparation.
Oh yeah, it depends if you're coming, you know, down from the upper bracket or if you've been in lower bracket for a while. But especially if you come down immediately from the upper bracket, you spend that entire night prepping. Everyone's getting together as a team, and you're like, guys, like, we gotta fix this. We gotta fix something. We need to make something work. When you've been in the lower bracket for a while, it's just a matter of like playing out those matches and making sure you have energy. But every day you kind of get into like a routine, and you kind of get that momentum with every game that you win in the lower bracket, that you get that momentum going forward in your preparation, and you start to feel more and more confident as you go on. And I think that helps because, like I said, it kind of becomes like a day-to-day routine. It's like, okay, guys, here we are, winning our match. All right, afterwards we do our prep for the next team. All right, wake up tomorrow. Okay, we gotta warm up screen. We win our match. All right, now we prep for the next team. It kind of helps when you have that.
It certainly does. It certainly does.
And it can be brutal as well. And I think it's kind of what differentiates the good teams from the great ones. You look at our winners of the last Masters in FPX, they played pretty much every single day, and they made the improvements. 100 Thieves is showing me some of that same greatness.
Yeah, and it also it contributes so much when you have players that are high impact as well, right? That are able to you know, roll with the punches. And the players that I wanted to put a particular focus on here is Trent and Derek, the initiators for these teams. I mean, Derek's impact, Mimi, cannot be understated in this competition. He is the most clutch player that I have ever laid my eyes on, and Trent, I mean, the boy's just got a hair that he's got hair, you know, and I can never, I'm always a sucker for some good hair, but he's so good at the game as well.
He's got good hair, and he has got good impact within the server. Okay, we're moving on from the hair. We're moving back into the realm of Valorant here, because for these two guys, I think they're the two best initiator players we have in this event, and they're both jockeying for one of those top spots in North America. For Trent, it was the fall off. He kind of disappeared in stage 2. Now he is back, and it is not only the championship form he had in stage 1, but it is better than that. And you already talked about Derek. This is the clutch guy. He is a world-class clutcher.
And if you look back to stage 1, I think it's really cool seeing him here again and seeing Guard here again too, because it's not like it was like a one-off or it was a miracle run, you know, like in the stage 1. It's more like this is something that is consistent, something that can be happened and done and again and again. And Trent, I'm just super excited to see how these two get value against each other.
Yeah, it's going to be a clash clash of titans here in the last chance qualifier. We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we're going to dive in to the map picks and bans, agent select, all that good stuff. Still lots more to discuss, and the matchups coming up in just a little bit. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you as always on the other side.
Red Bull Campus Clutch is back. Assemble your team and lead it to the World Final. Learn more on RedBullCampusClutch.com. We're back. We're getting ready for the match. 100 Thieves versus Guard. Winner will move on to represent North America, the last spot for champions in Istanbul in just a few short weeks. Here we go. It's now time for the map picks and bans. And remember, Guard are going to have the 2-ban advantage. So far, it has been a curse. We'll see, Mimi, if it plays out this time in their advantage. I'm sure it's probably sticking in the back of their mind somewhere.
Yeah, we'll have to see if it's a blessing or a curse. We'll see where they head with their bans. Breeze has gotten rid of first. I'm glad they do this. It's been a great map for 100 Thieves. Their Cypher play there has been impeccable. It's been one they've been willing to play, but still glad they get rid of it. Fine goes out too. That is another one of 100 Thieves' absolute best maps. They're using these to target what 100 Thieves is good at, and I love to see that.
And I was about to say the Icebox pick coming from the Guard is going to be really interesting because we did see 100 Thieves start their match versus FaZe yesterday with Icebox, and although they still won the map, it was a little shaky 13-10 by the end of it.
Yeah, still, that double controller composition just looked so good out of Guard, so glad to see them go back to it. Fracture, though, got through the ban stage, so 100 Thieves gets that. They've shown us a couple different looks with the Neon, with the Rays. They've had a few different ideas, but they want to head back to it. For Guard, this isn't a map that they've really played a ton of, but yeah, Guard's kind of struggling on the attack in that regard. Haven comes through as our third map.
And for Haven, that's going to be really interesting because the Guard has previously played FaZe already, who runs the same comp as 100 Thieves, and generally speaking, it's a very similar game plan with that comp. You're going to be wanting to abuse B hits if you can, and then have strong side execs as long as you can get that main control. And then 100 Thieves pick Ascent, similar to how they did yesterday, and we have Split as the decider.
Yeah, 100 Thieves do come out with that pick. It has been, I think, their most improved map of this tournament thus far. We get Split coming in as a decider. We still haven't seen that map.
It would be great to see it.
And what a poetic way to end the LCQ. The last tournament this year with Split involved in the map pool to end there on map 5 would be so, so cool. But overall, looking at this pool, I think this is exactly how Guard expected it to go. Coming in with the 2 bans, they get rid of 100 Thieves' 2 best maps, and they get a super advantageous start with that Icebox.
I think anyone could have looked at this on paper, and yeah, I think that this is more or less where we would have ended up here. I know Agent Select's going to be coming up in a moment. First map will be Icebox, in case you guys just missed the map picks and bans. Here we go, though. Let's see what we end up getting. Do we get any trickery? Do we get anything different? I don't really foresee that happening. I would really like to see the Brim come back, you know, that double controller that Guard did. I think that would be really good here.
And it does look like they're heading back into that composition. Jonah already locking the Brim. We've already kind of talked about how good this composition was for them.
And honestly, I really like seeing Valorant on the KO as well. I know he's talked about it, like, hey, my KO goes hard, but it's really interesting to actually see it in action again.
His KO does go hard. It's actually pretty good.
As a controller main, it's honestly pretty seamless how he looks on the KO.
Yeah. Well, Guard do get the attacking sided start here. Their post plants are going to be super potent with both the Brim, Viper, and KO in play, and their executes are going to be nice when you bring the Fade into the mix. I think the biggest issue with this composition is that you forego the Sova. So if Will can get on a roll, get that op up early on the chamber, it's a little harder to clear him out with that Fade utility and with the KO utility versus just being able to drone through with that Sova. So I'm looking for him to step up. He's had some inconsistencies throughout this tournament, but in that game versus FaZe, he was excellent.
All right, we're going to do map by map again. Predictions, Mel, go.
Guard.
Guard winning Icebox. Guard winning Icebox. The desk is unified. Let's see if it comes to fruition. Let's get ready to send it over to our casters. It's the bald eagle and the majestic moustache of Bren and Sideshow. Take it away, fellas.
Thank you very much, Golden Boy and the Analyst Desk crew. Yeah, a little bit zoomed in there for a moment, but listen, we're back to normal. We're back to normal. Trust here for the grand finals, the last chance qualifier in North America. Two of our youngest teams in the tournament battling for that winner's spot, the right to represent North America in Istanbul. And at the end of the day, second place is not good enough. Not here, not right now.
There will only be one team coming out of this tournament, and for the second place, you'll fade into the annals of time. Nobody. I mean,
that is dark.
I mean,
that is dark.
Do you remember who placed second at LCQ last year? Maybe a hint of it. Derek was on the squad, but that was the end of the year for Rise at that point. It's going to be potentially the end of the year for one of these two teams, the other with a chance at redemption or glory. And I love that we're starting here on Icebox with such an interesting clash of compositions.
Yeah, you've seen these teams their own spin and takes on how the map should be played. The damage being exchanged, flash into the back to try and take some deep control of this one. The guard not messing around, but look at the counter spam. Just lines it up, sending bullets right into danger, and already 2 kills going their way. Valent's so low, trying to stick the spike down. Didn't get away with this one, but it's the guard with an 100 Thieves, I should say, easy cleanup.
And a Prime Gaming flawless to start things out as well. Not a single player going down, and honestly, not a single player even in danger of it from 100 Thieves. And Bang starts how he finished off FaZe as well. Bang had an absolutely electric series against FaZe and picks up a 3K in the pistol round. I think you're going to be seeing a lot of this, the mind games happening with these B plants.
Yeah.
When you're looking at the way that the guard play, I think their defense side looks really cool with this composition. Their post-plant play looks really cool as well. But it's actually getting the spike down. That's where 100 Thieves can start to disrupt things, I think. And we're going to get the guard with a force buy heading into round 2.
Now, opting into this one, obviously. The extra money coming from that spike family, they can buy into this one.
Will's going to take a push down mid here.
Flash trying to clear through, support it, supplement it. The angles, it's not quite finding the timing.
Yeah, and Will not particularly confident taking the duel against Net, maybe concerned because he heard the Spectre ring out. And they know that the guard have force.
Yeah. A minute 15 left into it. All slowly being chipped down, and the players of the guard going to work their way onto the site. They've gained good positioning here, but a fragment over the top. Valent is in trouble. Being chunked down, very low. Shots rattled off. It's Sire player. Wins out the duel on the top of rafters there. C's going to be connecting. Players locked down. Unable to really hear much of what's going on. Deafened by it. And still holding that up close and personal.
Yeah, Net playing
fire angle.
Net playing in such an aggressive position because he doesn't have his snake bites, and it finds value.
Still grabbing 2 for the players. Swarming onto the side. Trent wants to again follow up on the rest of this damage that's being done. Derek's left alone. 1v3, taps the spike. Rotates the positioning, but Trent's aware.
And Derek has been the clutch god so far in NA. You can only ask so much of him. A 1v3 to start with that one out was simply too much to ask for.
Yeah.
And the guard with a great force buy. And also understanding their win conditions so well. You know, pushing away that mid aggression at the start was somewhat trivial for them, but then they immediately pivoted into an A hit. And I thought Will's trademark was going to get good value. Immediately that got broken as well. They were still able to get the plant down despite the fact that Asna threw his fragment grenade. Everything worked there for the guard. And I think 100 Thieves expected them to be playing much more passive post-plant positions as well.
Oh, absolutely. offsetting as well one of the major advantages that 100 Thieves have coming into this series is the fact that they've been winning a lot of these pistol rounds. If you can't carry forwards that advantage,
absolutely,
then well, what good is winning the pistol rounds if you lose the next one?
Yep, it resets the economy. It doesn't allow you to go for those important bonus rounds. Devastating, getting force bought against and losing. And the guard get another plant down without too much contestation. Of course, only pistols, only classics on the side of 100 Thieves to start. And I think your point about pistols is really important there, Bren, as well. As you're watching 100 Thieves try and get the look around the back, but I don't think Derek's pressure is going to be enough. The pistol round has been going fantastically for 100 Thieves in this tournament. It's about the only place in which they look better than the guard on the guard's run.
Yeah. In terms of the statistics.
Yeah, I mean, there are something like 65% on the pistol rounds compared to guard. Guard are just a 500 team when it comes to pistols. You know, they win, they lose.
One enemy remaining.
So it's very important that 100 Thieves get the better end of those and are able to convert. So importantly here as well, because the guard are now taking their, you know, quote-unquote bonus round in round 4, they've had even more time to build up these ults. So there's a Nightfall available and one away from a null command heading in to round 4 here. And I think that could be devastating for 100 Thieves. This is how snowballs happen.
Exactly.
And there could be a fight over an ult orb as well if Asuna wants to try and make a play for the A orb. Although, if you take a look at where he's positioned on the minimap, it's going to be his job to control that kind of orange area.
And right now, the players are leaning over towards B main. It's going to be a deep knife off the rip. But you're right, those ultimates could be playing a pretty crucial part. Bonus round by the guard, quote-unquote bonus round, I suppose, but the investment of 100 Thieves, they want to be winning this round out, keeping these guns moving.
Look at how cool this brimstone smoke is as well. Normally we're paying attention to Jonah P's smokes on the defense, but this one allows them control of B.
Working away through those, they're running straight into the crossfire. Weaponry not quite there, but a Prowler connects, and that means that Willer's going to be able to be dealt with easily enough. Still, Alan dropped to his knees.
I don't think there's any possibility of a res.
Yeah.
But the spike is also right in front of him. And as Valen falls, can they recover at least the spike from this situation? Saya goes forward and picks it up. But he's pretty isolated here. There's not too much that Jonah P can do to help him.
100 Thieves are playing so far back here.
Mad amounts of respect, right?
Yeah, huge. Willing to give them the entirety of the site and just opted to try and play the retakes, but
oh my word, what
holding these angles, timing is everything here.
Saya player knows he can't just, well, most of the time, he couldn't just get the plant down. In fact, 100 Thieves positioning would allow that. So he's searching for the kill. Jonah P can't quite find it either. Saya now left in a 1v3. He's the early round player, not the late round clutcher.
Team left to it. Aston's going to be squeezing from the one side. The rest of his team is a close quarters fight. And at the end of the day, it is 100 Thieves' favored. Asuna's the one who claims it from the sidelines.
And a good response from 100 Thieves. Stopping that snowball from happening.
Yeah, think about it. Want to keep those guns going and save the operator as well. I should grab a couple of those ultimates out of it. At least Valen ended up using that null command, so that's not going to be available to them.
And again, this idea of 100 Thieves' defense being powered by stopping the guard from even getting into post-plant positions. You can see finding the first knock, I guess, onto Valen, although it did eventually become a kill. And then you've got an operator playing at the back of yellow, so quite not the most aggressive hold you could have in the world on B, where you're playing super up towards the choke point, but still working a crossfire off the back of yellow stops the guard from getting into comfortable positions. Trent didn't even get an opportunity to use the Nightfall, for example. Early Viper's pit here from Bang.
Deep play into mid.
And look how fast this is.
So much aggression. Maybe honestly just anticipating it. Trademark is still going to go off though. It's going to slow down the approach. It's still this off angle. You can see the drone in play. A bit of spam from Trent. He's just trying to find his mark. Derek will fall in the end. And it's chaos. A bit of pandemonium at the back of the site. But Stella, he locks it down. He's thriving in it. 3 kills in the round so far for him. And the spikes drop down at the backside. The very backside of B.
That is devastating for the guard. That one looks like a very specific anti-strat. Such unusual pathing from the guard in this round.
Definitely, I think, off the back of the Viper's pit, surely.
Absolutely. Expecting that Kitchen would be open every time they pit. It's probably a read that their coaches are giving them. And Asuna and Bang, they shut it down. No possible recovery of the spike there.
One of the things that 100 Thieves have been doing so goddamn well has been these crossfires and the fundamentals and the trading off of one another. They've been so well drilled in almost every aspect of it in their recent games. They're just not leaving any gaps. But potentially, the guard could find themselves way back into the round.
And honestly, full credit to Stella there for being able to read the play that was coming towards him and adapting to it so well. Because that isn't something that 100 Thieves will have a set protocol for. The desk were praising 100 Thieves for how great their defensive protocols are. I'm not sure they have planned a how to repel them pushing through kitchen into your spawn. Big opener from Derek too, as the guard try and tackle this round with a couple of hero rifles. Should be 100 Thieves being able to get out into the lead.
Yeah.
And here's one thing to take a note of as well. The Guard have been spectacular at their attacking first kills. It's one of the big areas where the Guard look a lot better than 100 Thieves. But at the moment, the way that 100 Thieves are taking fights is stopping the Guard from getting those comfortable first duels.
All contact plays up until this point. See the weaker weaponry. To the drone for information. Derek's aware. Knows the players are going to be loitering around this particular area now. Just sending in the utility. No one's really able to get an edge just yet, but just still need to be careful that they don't give away anything at the end of the day with the Sheriffs. One shot will do it. Especially up close and personal. Flash play. Portions the wall the Stella placed down earlier just being broken away, chipped away. Still an attempt is being made, but upon flash play, Asuna right round the corner, and his team, of course, are going to be supplementing it, helping him out. No loose ends.
I like the jump peek around the corner as well. A great little flash there from Asuna, timed perfectly. Just as the wall is going down, the one that Stella put up to deny the plant early on in the round. And Trent has had this ult online since round 4, and he still hasn't found an opportunity to get value out of it. The Guard are struggling at the early round here. And for good reason. 100 Thieves are playing this defense wonderfully. They're a great defensive team across most of their maps.
Yeah. The preferred side, usually.
You want to play? Let's play.
Tour de Force opened up here for Sire player. You can see Will's also got this operator online, but that is Derek just offloading it. The Hunter's Fury. All the common angles just trying to be cleared out, but not a target in sight.
Yeah, finding nothing off the back of this one. And once more, the Guard using their same utility to take B. Brimstone Smoke, the Prowler. And you can see how 100 Thieves have now had to drop back into a passive sight kind of hold. The Guard don't have too much map control, but 100 Thieves have dropped back.
Yeah, early days, yeah, but the direction of this spike. Okay, interesting shock dart over the top.
I assume that one's designed to try and remove a trademark, actually. But if you look at where Sire player has it, it's just monitoring an aggressive push out of A.
Yeah, something along those lines. Now with 45 seconds left, it is going to have to be a bit of a re-clearing, I think, from the Guard. They were giving a right now. 100 Thieves, primed, ready and waiting. They could do some serious work, but the spike is still going to be dropped in Sire player. Safe hands. The back yellow with a Tour de Force. Viper's pit drop down. Asuna wants to press the advantage. Pushing forwards into it, but left alone now down to Will. Takes out one of his adversaries, and it's down to the 1v1 Chamber versus Chamber.
Sire's already found 2 in the round. The Tour de Force online as well.
Chamber day.
There's Will. Having an impact round exactly when 100 Thieves need it to keep the momentum going. Will having a good series is going to be such a win condition for 100 Thieves. And that is a great way to get the confidence flowing.
What a Red Bull clutch. Just amazing crosshair placement as well as he takes that swing. Right at the correct positioning.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. Take a look at this one. Will finishing off Trent, who had had a monster round. And Sire just misses the shot. He was so good for it earlier on with the Tour de Force, and look at the rest of the pop-offs.
They love it, man. They are loving it.
That's another really clean, maybe the word clean doesn't quite apply to that, considering it went down to a 1v1, but another successful retake for 100.
Being the one who finalizes it. Really important that this guy has a good series overall.
Guard have struggled with post plants during LCQ. Oh, Trent goes to try and body block the shock dart, presumably there. But takes a lot of damage. Maybe he was just trying to dodge it and accidentally ran into it. We only got a flash of his POV. But that's rough. Having one of your best players drop down to 57 health.
I'm not really too sure what the goal is still of these shock darts. I'm thinking maybe it's the rendezvous position, a bit of anti-strafing, but...
Yeah, I mean, look at the rendezvous position right now. If the shock dart connects roughly around where Derek is throwing it, that's going to be Sire player on a fairly long cooldown. Not as long as on the live patch, obviously.
A play yet to be made now. Orbital strike in the back pocket of Jonah P. Team's going to be starting to group up here to guard. Raring to go. A-side still in their hands here, but that's going to be the null command from Asuna. It's going to push them back.
That's a lot of players suppressed on the guard.
Yeah, and with 30 seconds left. Hard ask for a pivot, especially with this mid look from Bang. He's going to be able to collect any kills if they try and at least operate and go into a different direction. But no, they want to commit to it still. Stella from Nest. Finding the work, doing the damage. Asuna, the back of the site. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Absolutely cleaned up. And the guard just cannot find an opportunity to win. Of course, they were able to take the second round in a really nice force buy and got the follow-up, but since then, there's been nothing going for them. Even when they get the plant down, they're losing the post plants. And in situations like this, they're under so much pressure even when they're trying to get in. The guard are playing very slowly, Brent, and it's like they've got the same game plan they used against FaZe. But there's a massive difference in how FaZe defends with their aggressive players of Baby Bear and Dicey, and how 100 Thieves defends with their extremely set defensive protocols.
Yeah, always a crossfire, always able to help each other out.
And it looks like the guard might have picked the wrong game plan here for this first half, and it's slipping away from them fast.
Single buy round being one for them, I think, thus far in the first half. Just get that much more difficult. The smoke is an interesting one. We were mentioning it prior. It does give the guard a lot of space. And that's exactly what it affords them. An angle blocked off from the operator angle that Will was playing. He didn't really expect the players to be there, but still, an attempt is made. Bang will take out two, but eventually traded. Jonah P again moves forwards.
And you'd think it was worthwhile for Bang to take two, but it has put a rifle into Jonah P's hands, and that makes this a very even 3v3.
Really tricky scenario as well.
And honestly, one where Jonah P has his ult to work with too, so this should be a monster post-fight.
How do you win this one? Side player going back to safety. Net did end up falling. 2v2 with a resurrect online, but that orbital strike, surely that's going to be denying it. Yeah, way too much damage. 100 does the job, but jump beat from Sire player.
That's bold.
Molly over the top though. Jonah P's bought himself a bit of time and still in the 1v1. Cross replacement is everything, and he is on top. What a performance from Jonah P so far. This guy has been on fire recently.
It's an awesome round to get the guard across the line. Jonah P with the first kill in round 8, but they couldn't convert. And it's the thrifty win, round 9. But if these are the rounds that the guard are getting, it's still not looking good. They've yet to win a gun round. This one was the thrifty. And they just used some of their biggest tools. So even though it's fantastic that Jonah P was able to win that and get the guard one on the board, doesn't seem replicable just yet. We still need more out of the guard here.
Viper's Pit dropped down now from 100 Thieves again. Last time saw 100 Thieves go for a bit of almost anti-stratting as well. They took the heavy mid-presence as the guard, that is.
Eric with a dodge on his drone to keep it alive against the op shot of Sire player. You're right, Ben. Last time we saw, there's that shock dart again. Always being sent, never a trademark there. Oh, and Sire player almost got an opportunity onto Derek. In the previous time that there was a Viper's Pit. Last time there was a Viper's Pit, the guard pushed very heavily up mid. And they have 3 players, 4 players around that area now.
Look at this repush from 100 Thieves. Contact very clear. All the information going to be gained now. They know where these players are being corralled. Right into orange, but it is Valen who wins out the fight. Derek falling. One less opportunity for 100 Thieves, and still the angles are being watched. The flanks swarmed inside the pit. Bang really just can't hold. It's unrelenting force. Snowdo does clean up Sire player, but it is chaotic. Left down to just Asuna.
Net managed to duck away from Asuna there and has maintained his position over towards Kitchen, can reposition Snowman.
Really hard ask.
It just doesn't seem winnable for Asuna. No one's giving him anything.
Look at what they've got available as well. I mean, Net's just happy to contain the back area of the entire map. Asuna knows that he has to try and find a fight against at least Net or something. With a tap there of the spike, Molly going to be sent flying as well. It means that he can't quite stick it even if he was, but Asuna has done first part of the equation. Completed, but time running so low now. Impossible task against players and utility that he was up against.
And there you go. That is the Guards' first gun round. And it came off the back of them being able to swarm with the Nightfall into a Viper's Pit. And Valin finding them an entry. And Valin doesn't often get entry picks. But in their previous match, he was coming out with them left, right, and center. And right there, he gets an incredibly pivotal one. The Guard didn't really use any utility, and they didn't have players holding that angle through fence to the very back towards spawn. But Valin just hits a 90-degree flick and deletes the 100 Thieves player that was holding it there. And that's the kind of magic that the Guard really need to get back into this half. It's still doable.
Certainly is, especially when you consider the kind of halves and which side is stronger. 100 Thieves typically on their attack sides, they have struggled on certain maps.
And 100 Thieves are going to take a timeout here as well, just to ensure that they don't let the momentum slip away. It feels like so much of this is down to getting good early round wins for the Guard. And I think 100 Thieves have just been so great during this recent low bracket run at holding smart angles, taking smart fights, and being in position to support each other. I think especially Asuna and Bang have been amazing at that. Asuna takes so many fights, but so many of them are well set up where he is favored. And if he's been being that intelligent with how he takes fights, the mechanical skill that the guy's also got is just going to take over.
The numbers that he's putting up have been outlandish, honestly.
He's been statistically the best player in the tournament so far. Although I'm sure there's many different candidates for that playing in the match currently. Look at this aggression.
His aggression, but Angle being watched there. Lucky to get out of his life. It's not going to be skipping away. Actually healed up as well, but a fast play being made by the Guard. Not really wasting any time. They are being stopped in their tracks though by this Viper wall that's across. Pop flash play to try and get their way through it, but the angle at Jenny
Here comes
is
Net.
still watched.
Here comes Net at the back. He's
Big
got a flank through mid.
Massive kill opens it up, and now a bit of confusion and chaos. No one's watching him right now, especially with these bright smokes. Every angle found. And Net's still with 3. Derek though, the immense answer back. He has managed to return this one into the 2-on-2. Hunter's Fury popped off. Here's that spike being planted. Location going to be revealed for about a moment. Can they dodge and juke it? Derek finds the kill.
Absurd. And Sire player brought down to 68 health as well.
Too much to watch. Up top there, Sire player's just clueless.
What a round for 100 Thieves. And it's Derek. Sure, that one doesn't go onto the clutch meter, but he did so much work. Incredible performance considering what Net did. The mid lurk masterful from the Viper player on the Guard.
So much value.
And 100 Thieves still recover it somehow.
I mean, these guys, Derek, Asuna, Bang, these guys have been damn well for 100 Thieves. Yeah, this is which they've been playing at.
The coach is in the timeout just saying, "Oh, Derek, win us a clutch, would you?"
Put another one on the board.
That's the Sean Gares magic.
You got a record to beat.
He does. He's on pace for it as well. It's been one of the best clutch performances we've ever seen in a tournament run.
Final round in the first half, though. Weaponry is a little bit all over the place right now, but it is a contact play into mid. Derek, a bit of spam. Just the raw bullets being sent forwards, but a fast play now into orange. Bang knows the timing. Oh, it's everything. He drops down from the top ropes. An instant trade is there. But still, fights taking place all over the bloody shop. Right down into the center of mid. Asuna will deal with a bunch of these players. The fragment nade, not enough to deny that spike from going down, but it does a decent amount of chip damage still. Left alone to Trent and Jonah P, and the weaponry not good in Trent's hands.
They can't give Jonah P a kill, though. Yeah. One kill, and he gets the orbital strike online.
Molly going to be denying a lot of this one now. Trent playing close to the box as well. There's crossfire, but they need to hold the back of Yellow still. Position going to be gained. A bit of a pop flash play. The wall in play. Trent just needs to survive, but he won't do it. And they all come tumbling down. It's going to be 8 rounds on the board here for 100 Thieves.
Looking spectacular on the defense, as expected. But there's a whole other half to
असं हे करायला दोन लोक
Yep.
असतील तर
Absolutely. Unreal
ते
performance though so
तुला तसे
far on
पाहिजे
Icebox.
पण
When
ना
you consider the
ते आहेत
advantage that
तसे
the
मोठे
guard
तसा
had
प्लान
coming
भेटतोच
into this one
म्हणा
as the upper bracket
But,
team still to
position
do it
depends.
for half so far. Go to a short break on the other side of things. Of course, the continuation of map number 1. Don't go anywhere.
भारी खेळ आहे 8-4
I think to really keep.
I think that's why the pistol round is going to be so important here. You can't afford to let the guard have an inch back in, and not just the pistol round, but also being able to convert the next too. Looks like there's going to be a large clash over towards A. 0 point broken very early on there from 100 Thieves, denying a little bit of information. And you see them ask him to throw his own knife towards pipes. It's a position that Sire player is going to be posted at very often, this time not there.
Over the top, that does force the rendezvous, but is relatively speaking slow and steady from 100 Thieves. There was a lot of early oomph pushed into the fight, and look at the position as well that Bang's playing in, ready to absorb any sort of lurk all the way at the furthest reaches of their spawn. Very cautious indeed.
Point broken as both teams try to deny a little bit of information. They're not prompting a flank though out of the guard.
No.
I think at this point the play might just be waiting for these Viper toxins to go down before the push starts to come through. It's going to fade away.
That would be now, and they don't appear to be taking the opportunity, although with 0 point, the recon dart coming through, that's the cooldown they were waiting on.
Absolutely, all those abilities coming online now. They can start to try and work their way in, but still the guard are holding this 3 players at the back of the site, and a call has been made.
The 25-second pivot for mid to B?
They do not have control of B.
This is all down to Sire player.
And they're watching for the mid lurk. Sire player, angle on lock. Bang was the one player who needed to get stuff done with no time remaining right now. He needs to get some more damage, but Aston is there. He collects the kill, spotting the plays out. Jonah B in the back, but the plant, the spike, it will go down. Time rewarded to them. 100 Thieves can now start to play around this one.
Asuna looks like the danger man, set up inside the kitchen hallway. Could be an incredible position. He's worried about somebody retaking from this spot. No one's coming towards
चार जण होल्ड करत होते हा मिड होल्ड करत होता मिडला कोण येत नव्हतं लाईक चल चाललं तिकडे गेला ठीक आहे बॅचर लोक लेवन त्याला
comes in from the back. All going to be dropped down, but now on only 21 health. It's not enough to secure the round, any sort of advantage going their way. 100 Thieves again, they secure that pistol round.
And that one is massive. I can't believe 100 Thieves are able to get the spike plant down when there's 25 seconds and they're just rushing, unable to clear any of these positions because of the time.
Yellow position as well.
It looked like Saya was in a spot there to simply win the pistol round and get guard back into the map. And he couldn't quite grab it. The single kill that he got, not quite enough, especially considering the spot that Asuna got himself into and the perfect way that the rest of 100 Thieves played off that pressure.
अच्छा तुझे कॅबिनेटचा पुढचा 3 पैकी का हां खालचा चालू ना
next round as well. Obviously the
मग वायर ती बसली नसेल
spike plant gives them extra money to even have the option of forcing into this.
3 वायर नाही काय मी करायला लावला
the value
परत काढून
Four players
लावला फोटो मध्ये पण
and
हे
100 Thieves call
नव्हतं
the audible to get started on the A pressure. I think they've missed their opportunity though.
उद्या करावं लागेल ते
They were just a little slow off the marks and now
misstep with the timing.
Yeah. Now the guard are
एक
looking
फॅन
to
चालू
reclear it.
नसताना पण कूलिंग बाप आहे
Actually just holding though might be the better play here.
ते फक्त काय कर तो ती वायर 3 जण लावलं होतं ना ते एकदा परत काढत पेन पण परत लाव
Guard players all understand the lineup, work their way over towards this A site. Asuna will get dealt with, but again, aggression absorbed. Beautifully done. ADS with the bulldog shots rattled off. Will's able to find his marks easily enough.
And this flank from Bang as well should be the knife in the back. It's only net left again in a situation that isn't winnable for them. And 100 Thieves are up 10-4 here to start out on Guard's map. And the first 2 maps of this BO5 are Cupid maps. It's the maps where the Guard have these really unusual comps. They play the Brimstone here, they play the Jet on Fracture. They're off meta. And I thought that these would be the maps where the Guard are able to get out to great leads.
Sure.
Maybe this is that double map ban curse rearing its head.
Some of the desk was talking about, obviously, it hasn't really carried forwards in almost every region. We saw Edward Gaming move forwards in the upper bracket. That was the other night.
Boom had the double map ban. They were able to confirm it. But Optic have lost domestically in North America. Loud lost in Iceland. Paper X lost to Copenhagen. There have been teams that have just not been able to hold on.
I think it's just the nature of the game, honestly. Your map pool needs to be well-rounded enough that it doesn't really matter if you give the opponents 2 bans.
And I think it also lets 100 Thieves focus on the maps that they're not as tight on. You know, they don't have to worry about binary freeze, because if you leave them in, they're probably going to win anyway. So they get to really focus down on Guard's best. And it looks like they've been super prepared here.
100 Thieves so far, just a bit of roaming around the map, looking for opportunities.
मी असंच बघायला गेलो नाही का एअरफ्लो कसं आहे नंतर खाली फक्त खालचं चालत
just in case they decide to pivot away from A again. This is a bonus round at the end of the day for 100 Thieves. So.
लॉल फॉल डॅमेज मेला मी असंच बघायला गेलो रे की चालू आहे का नाही का म्हणजे एअरफ्लो बघायला गेलो
You don't really control too much, but this is a high-low setup. Asuna goes down on the rope. 30 seconds. Barely, though.
What a flick from Saya player to find that shot.
He'll die if he jumps down.
Still, he holds this angle down with the spray down. Saya player.
There it is.
Last player full damage. Okay. Yeah, why not? Just left up to Stella. A bit of excitement injected, I suppose, into the round, but okay, good news for the Guard. The round that they should have won, they do. They keep 4 of their guns moving forwards as well. We won't speak about Side player. Don't mention it.
You know, you can drop off there without taking fall damage. You just
definitely won't find yourself on any social media channels.
But this is a great idea from 100 Thieves as well. They've got the high-low setup with Asuna coming over the rope. They just didn't quite time it correctly to punish Saya player's positioning, and then didn't check that classic rendezvous position, which is on top of screens. But the more data that 100 Thieves get about Saya player's setups, the more they're going to be able to counter it. He's moved back over to B, though.
Yeah, adjustments being made here. Close start to try and spot those players who might be playing up close and personal towards A on the Guard side. They back away, they have to respect it, and that's because this null command is coming through. It's going to cement their way, pave their path onto the A site now. A lot of positioning going to be gained here, but for 100 Thieves, it's critical that they hold a lot of these angles. Wall will be broken. But Spike will be down, and Derek's just going to be watching this flank. It's a doubled up approach by the Guards. Not quite winnable though, Valen. Tossing a utility into to find any sort of work once more.
So many 100 Thieves players gathered up around Belt here. Just such safe positions. And the Guard, they feel like their best option is to save.
Okay.
Saya player's going to keep a Phantom. They're going to be able to buy. He has Tour de Force for the next round. Or did he pop it this one?
difficult one, I think.
I mean, either way, 100 Thieves post plans looking excellent, looking untouchable. The Guard's retakes are just not enough to be able to crack this.
Yeah.
And the Guard coming into this game, right? The Guard will look spectacular in gun rounds. They've been winning 58% of their gun rounds. That's, listen, that might not sound much more than 50%, but that's spectacular. Yeah. That is elite
some of
levels.
the heaviest hitters in the tournament as well.
Yeah.
Hayes.
They're going up against the best of the rest in North America. And at the moment, they're 1-6 in gun rounds. That's really rough. The Guard have been able to get their wins in other places with thrifties or, you know, the pistol round, the forces, that kind of stuff.
You got to supplement it with the, you know, the core reason you win games, man. It's got to be the gun rounds where you convert.
And here we go. Side player does have the tour de force. Didn't pop it in the prior round. And this is an interesting Viper wall that the Guard are using as well. Comboed with the Prowler, it's going to allow them really deep mid control.
37 GPUs
getting information over there.
34 CPUs.
Is an idea like that going to be enough to salvage a 6-round deficit?
Doesn't seem likely to try. Sure they clear close. Knife across the side there. Maybe an intentional tag to Jonah P. It might make them a bit more cautious now. Trying to play into yellow. Want to go across. That's going to get destroyed. But
what a timing.
Oh, he finds the shot.
What a timing. And now, 100 Thieves have so many different plans that they could do.
No.
The snowman.
Awesome play.
Jonah P forced to try and corral this though. All this danger just coming his way. He does manage to grab another kill. In all the midst of all of this action, all this chaos. The spam onto the wall, you've got to take out the segments of his side player. Up close and personal now with the tour de force.
Ooh.
It's going to be the resurrected eye. 3 shots, 3 kills. Fires a pit. Moving across here, all down to Derek, but it's shock dart. Anything online, shock dart. 1, 2, we're going to spam. Stick it. That's enough.
तू कशावर बघतोय YouTubeवर का Twitchवर?
This round though, Jonah P with the orbital strike makes actually getting the spike down a little difficult. Sire player pushed off the angle and 100 Thieves are grouped up very heavily.
पुढे आहे तू YouTubeवर बघतो तर माग असणार जरा 5-10 सेकंद.
नाही मी Twitchवरच बघतोय ते मी म्यूट केलं होतं लक्षात नाही.
म्यूट काय केलं?
कसलं घाण ते आवाज झालेलं मागचं म्हणून. बिचारे लास्ट बुलेट हिट झाली त्याला.
We're going to be going up, knife against the
Stream वर किती टाइम चालू तुझा आता? वरती सांग 49 47.
Positioning is revealed. Horns over the top as well. Into the ropes. That's a bit of spam straight through the wall. Nice kill. Going to be claimed. That's not falling. It means that they are going to be pivoting because look at this. All this space being gained by Bang. Lures his way into being
माग आहे तू.
मी मोबाईलवर नाही बघत आहे. मी Twitchवरच बघतोय.
हां मी पण ह्याच्यावर बघतोय PC वर. एकदा पॉज करून प्ले कर. फेस दाबून.
Thank
you. आता मी 20 सेकंदला आहे.
Gotta be aware of this one now, but look at how low this is
केलं
running. Hot flash play, perfect timing with a swing.
11 आहे. झालं प्लांट झालं.
Trying to deny, they don't do it, they don't get it late. Fast enough, it's way too late. And now left into the post plant. Bang's still left alive, but it is still the 2v2, but he is collecting kills one after the other. This position, he cemented himself in the crossfire with him and Derek. It's way too powerful. And that's still cautious. Look at him. He's watching just in case the reposition is there. Bit of a jiggle. He spots the gun. And it's immaculate work. Still down to Jonah P. Can he do it again? The answer is yes.
And he's got plenty of time to be able to wait this snake bite out too. Jonah P keeping the Guard alive. But by the thinnest of margins. It's an impressive 2v2 there to be able to take down two of the biggest
त्याला जागा ऑलरेडी
Derek
माहित
and Bang
होती.
in the late
तो
round
नसता
for
थांबला तर हा
100
जात होता आणि ह्यांनी
It's
पुश
still that
केलं.
6-round deficit. They've only just been able to keep their heads above the water.
It's so close as well. These rounds they're winning. It's just like you said, Josh. Nice edge.
Great play by Bang there to start opening things up. But you can see the time pressure that the orbital strike was putting them under. Maybe the Guard are going to be a bit more diligent about not over-rotating. But the more that the Guard spread their defensive setups out, the better these full A hits are going to work. And 100 Thieves have been starting almost every round with 3-4 players over towards A.
Great beginning for them now. Opener there for Sire. He's repositioned his way back to B main. Is there going to be a bit of aggression now pumped into this hit? Looks like it. Players already taking the backside. Grenade going to be denying any chance to try and plant safe. Up close though. All over the top.
And as you can see, the fact that the Guard are trying not to over-rotate has just opened up A massively. The Guard now trying to go for a full retake. Trent one away from the Nightfall. He'd love to have that online for this.
Despite this being a 4v5 with these crossfires up close and personal, Will has been forced off the angle. Aston has spotted out there, suppressed.
He's very isolated.
He is so isolated. No one really to play off of him, and he's cleared out. Diligent behavior from the Guard. One after the other, they find the targets.
And they're putting rounds on the board. Gun rounds. Yeah. Equal rounds. And the Guard are finally being able to get those situations online where they're able to find a player on 100 Thieves that doesn't have their teammates to support them, where they're able to use their utility really effectively there. The Prowler to push Will away, then the Knife to isolate Asuna in Hell. These kind of utility combos are the bread and butter of the Guard. It's what makes them fantastic. And yet, it might be too little too late.
Yeah, we'll see. They are removing away a lot of these win conditions of 100 Thieves, the thing that they've been doing so well, which is playing these crossfires, playing off of each other so well. But is it enough? They have to crawl back 5 rounds to even bring it back to OT in this first map still. This time no early smoke, and the drone's going to get removed very early on. Pop flash play. They're going to be roaming forwards now. Nice, going to be connecting onto 2 of them, but still, what an aggressive play by Sire player.
He gets away with it, despite the fact he's
still there, goes for the quick scope, a bit of running on backwards. Jonah Pedo, 2 kills. Derek even returning, now down to the 2v2, and this is where it gets hairy. It does have this no command, but Spike not really being disrupted. It's still going to go down. Weaponry not too ideal. Picking up a gun or 2 there. Spectre now, Derek wants to take the fight. What a shot to hit. Balanchot to his knees. It's down to net. He knows where the last player is. Molly out in his hands. That could be a critical mistake, but the off angle by Derek is too damn clean. This guy is just elite. 3 kills in the round to secure that Red Bull clutch, and he's locked up map number 1 for the team.
Derek again. What a beast, what a phenom. He still has not lost a 1v1 in the entirety of NALCQ. He's 13-0 in 1v1s, and he's on pace for overtaking